the problem is f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 3, then state the domain and range. Now, before we solve this problem, let's try to study this form, the given form. This form is in this form over here, which is y is equal to ax plus b over cx plus d. Now, a and c are coefficients. Okay, so what do you know about coefficients? In layman's term, they are numbers in front of the letter. Now, b and d can also be any integer. So in this case, for the given problem, your a is 2, your b is 1, your c is the number in front of your x, which is 1. Remember, x is actually 1x. And then d now will be negative 3. Now, to solve this form, we would follow the same steps um, from the previous lesson we had, wherein the first step will be we need to identify our VA, which is our vertical asymptote. So where do we find that vertical asymptote? The vertical asymptote is actually the denominator. So the excluded value in the denominator. So to do that, so I would write here VA. VA stands for vertical asymptote. So I would write here x minus 3. Just equate that denominator to 0 because you want to find the excluded value in the denominator. When you say excluded value, the value that will make this function undefined. So you do your simple math. Now you'll add 3 on both sides. So your x now is positive 3. That is your vertical asymptote. Now for your horizontal asymptote, which is your y, the formula or the equation that you will be using is a over c. Where do we find those a over c? You go back to the form a while ago. The form is y is equal to ax plus b over cx plus d. So there you go. That's your a, the coefficient of the term here, which is 2. So that will be y. Your a is 2 over your c, which is the coefficient of the term here in the denominator, is x. So what's the number over here? It's 1. So whenever you see a variable, just a variable, actually there's a coefficient in front of it, which is 1. So what is 2 over 1? Basically, that will give us 2. So that is now your horizontal asymptote. Next step will be state the domain. Now the domain can be derived from your vertical asymptote. So the domain will be all real numbers excluding our vertical asymptote, which is 3, excluding 3. That's your domain. Now for your range, the range now will be start with same thing, start with this, all real numbers excluding your y, which is 2. Now for step 3, in creating a table and plotting the points, we will use desmos.com. So here, let's type here our problem. Now, if you try to use the keypad of the website, you cannot see here a fraction sign. So as a remedy, you would do this. So you would write 2. After typing 2, immediately hit that division sign so that you would create a fraction. Now going back to the numerator, you continue your function. So that is 2x plus 1. For the denominator, it's x minus 3. So our graph is over here. Now we want to create table. So to create a table, you would click that button. Now hit the table. Now I received some emails saying that the graph or the points are actually only for one branch. So it happened here. So if you try to observe, these coordinates here are only for this branch here. So how about this branch? So to do that, you would click below the X. So you would click on the cell here. Now, what X value am I going to place here? Since that is your graph, I can pick 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can pick them. You can pick any of those points or any of those X values. So I would pick, let's say I can pick 4. So if I click 4, it will automatically give you the Y value. Then just hit enter. I can also pick, let's say 5, hit enter, and then 6, then hit enter. So those are now the points you needed. So which points am I going to copy now? I can copy from, since I know that 4, 5, 6 lies on the second branch, which is here, so I can pick those 3, and then I'll just pick the next 3, which are 2, 1, and 0 x's. So I would start my graph at 0, and then go down to 6. So that's how to just transfer that in your paper, in your answer paper. So transfer that in your answer paper and then graph it, graph the coordinates, and then step 4 now will be draw. Now in drawing, make it certain you follow the curve. Now some of you are having hard time how to insert their drawing in their worksheets or task paper. Now, to do that, I would allow you to take a photo of your graph and then attach it or send it to me in Google Classroom. I can accept that.